welcome back to another video. It's been a real long time. I've been going through some shit. Okay, listen, so I'm not gonna explain what the fuck I was going through, but I was just going through a lot of stuff and I really needed a break, and it really helped. But then it kind of made me lazy because I'm a really hard-working woman, but that shit kind of made me lazy. It made me like, I don't really want to do anything anymore. We're here, my makeup's done, I did it. It's a very amateur job, but listen, don't talk about me, I'm learning. Today I'm gonna be doing a story time on my high school experience. Most of it is gonna be about like why you shouldn't be in a relationship while you're in high school. Well, I'm not gonna tell you that, but just don't follow my footsteps that are going to be in this video because it's going to be very, very cruel. I was a cruel bitch in high school. I did not care. I mean, I didn't care about my relationship. Friendships, I loved everybody. I was always talking to people, but no, relationships, just, I definitely could have just left that at door A, okay? If you went to Maryville, you know what door A is, so it's the front of the fucking building. This is kind of going to be all over the place. I want to let you know now, and I also want to let you know that if you are new, make sure you leave a caterpillar down below so I know that you've been, so that I know that you're new. And if you've been here for a while, you already know, leave a butterfly boo. And we're gonna continue on with the video. It is going to be all over the place. I'm gonna try to keep it, not as PG, I'm gonna try to keep it as organized as possible, but you know me, when I start rambling, I start rambling. I wrote down a list of things that I wanted to talk about because I didn't want to just, I don't know, I'm that type of person. When I do a story time, I need to make sure that I write down bullet points because I'll forget stuff and then the video will be 2 minutes long. So before I start talking about relationship bullshit, because it's irrelevant, we're gonna talk about just like my freshman, that's Arlo by the way, like my freshman year and what I used to get into then. So in high school, my freshman year, I got a tattoo and my tongue pierced. I've had my tongue pierced since freshman year. And I was so excited. I thought I was like the coolest bitch at school. I'm walking around like, I used to play with it all the time. I still play with it, but I just think it's funny because when I first got it, I was playing with my tongue ring all the time. Like I just wanted everybody to know. I'd be walking down the hallway like, like I'd be happy as hell, and it was so lame. Like now, you see it, you don't, I don't really give a fuck. I've had it since freshman year. That was it was probably 2011, but I went into high school 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, yeah, 2010, 2011. So one of those times. I've had this tongue piercing for 9-10 years, and I love it. It never gets in my way. I just really love it. I'm glad I got it when I did. And I used to have snake eyes. I do have a picture somewhere, but I don't really feel like looking for it, so sorry. But I just thought it was so cool, and I got my 2 tattoos on my sides. I don't know if anybody's actually seen those. Like, have I ever really showed them to you? I think I did in my tattoo video, which is from a long time ago. Done a couple tattoos since. Yeah, I got 2 tattoos, but no one could see them. That was the whole point of me getting them, because no one could see them. But and this is why I take her to my parents' house. This is why I take her to my parents' house while I'm filming, because I can never get through a full video with my daughter here. And then after that, I think my sophomore year, maybe it was my freshman year still, I don't know. Or maybe like early sophomore year, I got this tattoo on my arm. I don't know if this can go up all the way. Yeah, it can't. But I got this tattoo on my arm. It's a rose and it's really fucking ugly, so I'm kind of glad that I can't show you, because that was my 3rd tattoo and it was a big one. So I was like picking at it, and you're not supposed to, but I didn't care because it itched so bad. So it's all messed up. But I thought I was the shit because I got a freaking tattoo when I was in my freshman year. Shout out to my mom. I know some parents don't do that stuff and some parents do, and my mom was one that didn't care as long as no one could see it. This one, no one could see. Like people, I don't know, it wasn't like out there is my point. So she was just like, shit. Actually, all my tattoos I got before I was 18, you can't see. I got one behind my ear. How many tattoos did I get before I was 18? I got these 2, that's 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 5 tattoos before I was 18. Look at me, see, I was the shit, bitch. My freshman year, it wasn't really that fun because I was in freshman academy, which means it's for like people that just ain't that smart or bad. I was the ain't that smart category, so I didn't really get to do anything like everybody else did. I was just like in just like a little corner by myself all the time. Like it was never really fun. I couldn't skip class. It was really hard to skip class with having that because the classes were like in a triangle, so like you could skip one class, but then you go to the next class, they're gonna ask you why didn't you go to that last class, because they used to keep up, like literally, just because there were kids that were bad in there, so they had to really like pay attention to what everybody was doing. So that was really frustrating. But my freshman year, I think it had to be my freshman year, I got in a fight with my ex. Like we don't consider them exes now because like we're grown, but technically she's my ex. We broke up and she was like, I'll beat your ass, and I was like, do it. We went to school, we slapped each other literally, like it was not a fight, and I got suspended, she didn't. I was pissed. And that was the first time I ever got suspended. And there was this really like lit party that was supposed to be happening while I was on punishment. My mom wouldn't let me go. My mom was not going. If I got in trouble at school, I'm not gonna say that for the for the full 4 years. But when I got in trouble in school, my mom was not playing. She's like, you can't go nowhere, you can't do nothing. And at that time I didn't smoke, so I don't really care. I'm like, whatever. I'm not gonna talk about all like the relationship shit till the end because there are some things and I don't want to mix everybody up. I used to get suspended a lot. I wish I could find, oh, I do have my transcript. But does it tell you how many times you were suspended? It does not say every time you were suspended. It does say tardies on. I'll read that in a second. So I used to get suspended a lot after freshman year. So everything I'm talking about, unless I physically say it, is after freshman year, so sophomore to senior, because that's when I had more freedom in school. That's when I had more freedom and I could do more stuff, okay? That's when I could get away with a lot of more stuff. There's so many people in the school, wasn't nobody paying attention to me. I actually used to get suspended for having my phone out a lot because I never wanted to give up my phone because I was not finna not have my phone all day. I used to be walking down the hallway with my phone in my hand. I'd have it in my back pocket. Like, I just really did not care. I didn't care. When they would ask for it, I would say no, or I would say send me to the office and I'll get suspended. If I got a Friday school, I would be like, yeah, no, suspend me, thank you. I'd rather take those 3 days or a day. I don't even care. I'm not going to no fucking Friday to sit in there and for 3 extra hours. No, I'd rather be at home on my phone in the mirror singing to Snap and shit and smoking. I used to get suspended for not going to class because I've gotten caught a couple times of not going to class. So one time me and my ex kind of got into this argument and the principal or something sent us to the the therapist, not the counselor they give you, but like the school's counselor, and we were in there and she said some shit. So like I got up and like ran towards her. Like I wasn't even gonna hit her. Like I'm dead ass. Like I would tell y'all now, I genuinely was not gonna hit her. I just want to get in her face. Like, what's up? The counselor got scared. This bitch got scared, and I mean scared. Like she thought we was finna fight. I was like, I was not finna touch her. So she told me to get out. I was standing there. Security came. Like, what happened? I was like, I ran up on her and she thought I was finna hit her, but I wasn't. Like I was just trying to get in her face and they suspended me. It was great. It's so funny because at that time, that was probably my senior year, either my senior or junior, and by that time the whole school knew we were together, like knew. And the principal, when I went to the office, he was talking to me because he was so cool. I think his name was Mr. Stamper. I think it was Mr. Stamper. He was just telling me like, y'all need to break up. Like he would always tell me, y'all need to break up. And Mr. James, if you went to Maryville, you know who I'm talking about. I don't even know if they work there still, but still, they both used to always tell me like, y'all need to not be together. And Mr. What's his name? Mr. Naki, he used to always tell me that we don't need to be together. There was a lot of teachers that used to tell me we do not need to be together because they all witnessed some fucked up shit from that relationship. So they're all like, no, y'all need to not, okay? One time I went off on this teacher because she was pissing me off. I don't even really remember what happened, but I just felt like she was a racist bitch. I think I walked in class late or something and didn't have a pass and she wrote me a tardy, so I went the fuck off on her and she told me to go to the office. I got suspended. And then one time, I mean, technically I don't even think I got suspended, but I was pissed. I'm pretty sure I've said this story before, but I'm not 100%. I had history, social studies, whatever it's called, with Mr. Mosslander. He was so cool. Like he was so chill. He just never cared about like anything. So, and I used to always fuck with him because he used to always fuck with all of us. So one day we was finna take a test, and on his bad days, him and Mr. Naki, do not fuck with them two on their bad days. Like they're cool ass teachers, but on their bad days, no. Out the fucking window. You better sit down, be quiet, and not say shit. We get in the class and he's saying we finna take a test and you had to do a Scantron. I didn't have nothing but a highlighter. So I was like, can I use a highlighter? And he's like, get the fuck out. Everybody's looking at me and I'm like, I was joking. Like I was legit joking. I was not trying to be no smart ass. I was playing because that's how he played. And he's like, get the fuck out. Get your shit and get the fuck out. He literally said that to me and I walked out like, damn, I was damn near finna cry. So he's like, go stand outside. I'm not standing outside. I'm finna walk around. I'm ditching class then, bitch. Cause I was so irritated. So I'm walking around. And then I think they sent the principal to come find me because the principal came up to me and was like, come to the office, and we talked and shit. And I was like, I was literally just joking. And when I came back, he apologized to me. He just said he was having a bad day. And I understood after that. But at the time I was pissed the fuck off. I used to ditch a lot too. Oh my gosh. I used to ditch so much. It was ridiculous. So I don't know if tardies, I think tardies consider like that's leaving or not being in that class, right? So my senior year, okay, so I had 28 tardies, which out of 3 trimesters, I feel like that's not that bad. I feel like it was more. Maybe some teachers were just nice because I genuinely feel like it was more than that. But I used to always ditch. After lunch was like the best time, which I don't know why they didn't like up security during lunch because a lot of people used to ditch during lunch. There was 2 lunches. There was like, I don't remember, A lunch and B lunch, I think. People that went to A lunch, you would go to your 3rd hour for half of it, go to lunch, and then after go to that class again, like the same class. So you could just like leave your shit in the room. B lunch is where you do the full class and then you go to lunch and then you go to your next class. So I used to have A lunch a lot, which I hated. I hated A lunch because I just hated the half-ass. You'd be in class for like 20 minutes and then you'd go to lunch and then come back and do the 60. It was so irritating. I would go to lunch and I would take my shit and never come back, and I would just ditch and then go to the next class. Yeah, that happened a lot. And I actually got in trouble one time because there was this teacher, he was the football coach, I forgot his name though, and I just hated his class. I don't know, just like, I hate teachers, this is gonna sound so stupid, but I hate teachers that assign you seats. It's not like oh, you pick a seat and that's your seat for the rest of the semester. Like, no, they're picking your seat. Like, no, I hate that. So I used to get so pissed. So one time I used to ditch his class after the lunch every time, all the time. Basically, he caught me one day and kicked me out. He kicked me out and I got put in study hall or something because I was like, fuck this shit, I don't even want to be in his class no more. So, or I took like an elective or something, I don't know, but I was like, I'm not trying to be in his class right now, so I'm just gonna ditch it till he kicks me out. Or like if I had B lunch, because I've had B lunch multiple times too, I would just not go to the first class and then go to lunch, and then I would see those teachers at lunch and be having to ditch and dodge and hide and shit, and it used to be so frustrating. I was always on edge in high school. Like, I was always on edge. I always had to like, make sure someone didn't see me. Like, it was so irritating. I mean, other times that I ditched was like, I would like literally ditch school. Like, I would leave after lunch and like go to my friend's house and smoke, or have somebody come pick me up. Like, I just didn't care to be in school, and that was a lot as well. And I do have one more thing to talk about before we move on to the next subject. So my senior year, like I said, I used to ditch all the time. So the second to the last day of school, because I didn't go the last day of school because I ended up going on a road trip, so I didn't even walk. I still got my diploma though. Where is my diploma? I don't even think I physically have my diploma. I think my mom has it. The second to the last day of school, it was technically my last day. I ditched class to go to lunch. Like I already told you guys before, you already know. I used to ditch and go to lunch. So I went to the first lunch, right? Seeing the principal, blah, blah, blah. And I used to try to avoid them too because I used to always go to both lunches. So I always try to make sure like they didn't see me. He seen me the first lunch. Like, I made it known. I don't know why I did that, but I just like went up to him and started talking to him. And then probably after the fact, I'm like, why the fuck did I just do that? I used to fuck with the principals. The only one that I really didn't know, or like didn't know me by name, was like the head principal. Because at that school, I don't know if that's at all schools, but at that school, they have a principal for each grade. And then like the big principal, yeah, the big principal I didn't know, but the rest of them I knew. So I used to always talk to them and stuff. So I seen him and I'm talking to him, and then I go to the next lunch and he sees me and he's like, weren't you just at the last lunch? I'm like, no, it was a class. And then he's like, go to my office. So I go to his office, right, thinking like, damn, I'm finna get in trouble, but it's the last day. I didn't really care. I thought he was gonna say I couldn't walk or some shit. So I walk in there and there's like 10 people in the office waiting on him. I said, are all y'all waiting for Mr. James? They said, yeah. I said, oh, okay. Walked out and went right back to fucking class. And the rest of the day I was nervous that he was gonna walk up in that bitch and be like, didn't I tell you to come down to the office? He didn't, boo. He did not give a fuck. He had too much going on. He didn't even care. I was like, yes. So next we're gonna talk about when I used to go to school high. Oh my gosh, y'all. So look, I just want to point it out. My nails are fucked up. But anywho, so I used to go to school high. The best. It used to be great. So I used to go to school high a lot when I started smoking. Actually, not when I started smoking. I used to be scared to go to school high. But junior and senior year, like senior year, bitch, I was in that fucking school high every day. Like, I did not care. I'd wake up. I'd make sure I woke up early so I could get dressed, open my window, puff, 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 put it out, go to school high. That shit was love. I used to eat. I used to go to sleep. I used to take naps. It was great. And one time, me, my best friend, and my old friend. So my old friend was like a new smoker. I wouldn't even really say new. She just didn't smoke like that, I guess. So she would tweak. And I mean tweak when she was high. That was actually my sophomore year when I went to school. No, junior. It was my junior year because she was a freshman. So we woke up. We had 4 blunts to smoke before we went to school. Four blunts to smoke before we went to school. And after that, I never did that. I would never smoke a full blunt before I went to school because like half a blunt would get me high, so I'd be cool. They both spent the night the day before school, and we had them all rolled up and ready. And then that night we smoked 2 because we were bored. So we're like, fuck it, we're just gonna smoke 2 of them. And we're like, we'll just smoke the other 2 in the morning. So that next 2 we smoked the other 2. My friend was tripping. Not my best friend, but my other friend was tripping. And I mean tripping. She didn't know where to go. She was wobbling. I'm like, I feel bad for this bitch. I really hope she chills the fuck out by the time she goes to her class, because they're gonna know and they're gonna expel her because you could tell she was high. You go to school on the first day high, like you just looking at people seeing they high too, like, yeah, bitch. Okay, I guess we're gonna talk about relationships now. Yay. So when I was a freshman, I was with like 2 or 3 other people. I'm pretty sure just 2. One of them was the person I was telling you about that I fought. It wasn't even a fight, it was a scruffle. Like, it was not nothing. So that was one of them, and she used to cheat on me all the time. It was just a mess, but it wasn't really like serious. I kind of just liked her. But the other one I was kind of serious with, and we were together for a year, but that shit like meant nothing. I don't know, that sounds so fucked up, but it's true. Like, it was just kind of like, oh, an experience, okay, bye. Sophomore year is when I met my final ex. My final, because I was with this bitch the rest of fucking high school. That was the last ex. Like, that is fucking nuts. That pisses me off because I could have been, I mean, I was doing my own thing anyways in high school, but still, like, I could have really been doing my own thing in high school if I wasn't in a relationship with somebody all 3 years. I'm not even gonna say her name, and I'm not even gonna make up a name because it's irrelevant. Like, I'll just say my ex. So I met this girl like damn near at the beginning of the school year. It was her freshman and my sophomore year. I had a boyfriend at the time, and it's so fucked up with me. I used to be walking down the hall with them like, y'all so cute, hyping them up and shit, but then low-key like kissing her in the fucking gym hallway and like flirting with her in text, writing letters. We used to fucking, I forgot about that. We used to write letters to each other, bro. Letters. Like, okay, listen, I love my relationship. I respect my relationship, but I would like to see those letters just to see what the fuck we used to talk, like, young as hell. Like, what the fuck could we have been talking about? Like, I just went from 3rd to 4th hour and someone threw a piece of paper at me. Like, I don't know what the fuck we could have been talking about, but we used to write letters. I don't know, it was just super sneaky. So they broke up, and then that was like my alarm, like, wheel, time to get this bitch. So basically, I bagged that. When we got together, her ex was so pissed because like I was cool with them, but he kind of got over it, and we actually like ended up being really cool. I kind of just felt a tiny bit bad. I'm not even gonna lie to you, I did not feel that bad, but I did feel a little bit bad. And people used to always say that I stole her from him, and I was like, you're right. So this is when my high school career went downhill because like I was in a relationship and I was the way I was, and it was just like really stupid. Like I just wish I would never regret a relationship ever. I just feel like we should have ended it earlier than it was because it was just pointless at that point. So at first she didn't even want people to know that she liked girls, so like we'd be hiding and shit and doing like sneaky shit, and one day I'm just like, fuck this shit. If you don't want to fucking be open, we're in high school, like if you don't want to be open, then we gonna have to cut this off, boo. So she ended up being like comfortable. She didn't even give a fuck no more. Let me tell y'all about just the bullshit. Okay, listen. So one thing that I used to do in high school, which probably fucked me up in the end, was I used to go to my counselor, like my guidance counselor, and try to change my classes all the time just to be in the same class as my ex. Probably out of those 3 years, I'm looking at my transcript. Out of those 3 years, I probably had what? I couldn't even tell you. I probably like each year there was 3 trimesters, so you'd have 3 different teachers most of the time. I probably changed my class probably 50 times. I don't even know if that's like an accurate number, but I used to always change my classes. Like at one point in one semester we had like 4 classes together. Like we had a lot of classes together. I used to always do that, and then I'd be distracted in the class. I used to be distracted in the class, so it was pointless for me to do that. And man, honestly, this is gonna sound so fucked up, but I'm pretty sure I told her everything. I mean, it doesn't really fucking matter. I don't know why I just said that, but I used to confidently cheat on this girl. Like I did not care. I didn't care who was around, who seen what seen where. Like I did not care. I would do whatever I wanted in that school. I would go meet up with people in the hallways, meet up with them in the bathrooms, meet up with them in other classes. Like I did not care. I used to walk this person to class every day and go up in the class, kiss them, and then walk out like multiple times. I used to do that shit so much. It was bad. And I've only really got caught a couple times. I've literally only got caught a couple times, okay, and I've done it a lot, so like I'm giving myself a pat on the back for that one, because people in that school, I don't know if they just fucked with me or just didn't care to like butt into somebody else's relationship, but they never snitched on me. And a couple times I cheated on her when we had the same class. Like we had this one class and she sat like 2 chairs up from me, and I used to flirt with the bitch next to me all the time. Like we used to write letters and shit, not letters, but like we used to write notes back and forth. Like I would say something, she would say something, I would say something, and then at the end of the class I'd throw it in the garbage. No one needs to see that, so we go throw it away. But I used to cheat a lot. And that same girl, actually, I kissed in the hallway once and somebody seen me. I don't remember who, but then they told my ex, and I was like, you fucking bitch. I was pissed at that person for a minute. Like, you're such a snitch. You're just a snitch. I'm like, why would you even tell my ex? Like, you didn't even know them for real. So it was like stupid, but whatever. Everybody loves some drama. And we used to get into it so much. She caught me cheating one time. She didn't catch, I mean, I guess she caught me, but she asked me in person, and I like started bawling, and I was running down the hallway crying like, forgive me, I'm sorry, I won't talk to her no more. Because it was with my ex, like the person I was with before that. So like I used to be like, I'm so sorry, and I go crazy and shit. It was horrible. Like I was just like such a hot mess. Everybody in that school has seen me cry. I posted that on my social media not too long ago, because I was always in that bitch crying, like crying. Not just like like full-blown tears, face red. I used to be in class texting, like getting into it, and then be crying like, oh my gosh. One time I smacked the shit out my ex, and like I don't like to hit people. Like that's, I don't know, that's a sensitive subject, and I smacked the shit out my ex in front of a bunch of people and she didn't do shit, and I felt so bad after. Like, I apologized my ass off. I think because she walked away from me while we were arguing, which was probably the best thing to do, but I was not going for that, so I got pissed and smacked her, and that was horrible. So don't do that. I used to be walking down the hallway with people, and like my ex would be like a little ways up from me, you can't see in here, but probably 6 feet, and this girl kissed me right behind her, and as soon as she kissed me, she turned around and I kept walking, and then my ex turned around and I'm just like, doo, doo, doo. She never knew, I don't think, to this, well, I don't know. I probably did tell her. Usually, like, this is gonna sound fucked up too. In high school, when like I would break up with somebody, I would like have like a sit down and tell them everything that happened and everything I did, just to get it all in the open, which sounds so fucked up, but it's just, it is what it is. That's what I did. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure I told her. One time she cheated on me though. This girl cheated on me too. Like, I don't want y'all to think that I was just going around cheating and just being this and that and the bad person. Like, no, this girl used to cheat on me too, okay? I literally had a friend tell me in one of my classes, like, y'all literally in a relationship to cheat on each other. And I was sitting there looking like, what do you know that I don't know? Because I wouldn't say all that. Like, I was like, huh? I was confused. But she used to cheat on me too. I don't really remember many times because clearly, but I remember this one time, and I did not like this girl for a minute, and I just don't believe in like not liking somebody after you already broke up with that person. That's just my personal opinion. I just don't care after a while, but at that time, clearly I cared. My ex cheated on me for months with this girl, and I had the same class with her. I had first hour with her, and she used to literally sit, I'd be right here and she'd be down there. And before I knew that she was cheating on me with her, I used to try to be friendly to the bitch because I knew she knew her. I used to try to talk to her and be cool or whatever. One time I literally asked her, it was like the day before or something, it was so ironic, literally like the day or maybe a week, the longest before I found out that she was cheating on me with this girl. We were walking down the hallway and I walked up to her and I was like, hey, like, do you and my ex have something going on? Like, are y'all just friends or what? She's like, no, we're just friends. We be talking about, like, I be talking about my boyfriend and she be talking about you and da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, cool. I was just making sure. Because in high school, I was a bold bitch. I mean, I still am a bold bitch, but I'm just saying in high school, I didn't give a fuck. Like, if I had a problem with somebody, bitch, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna tell y'all some other instances too, but I'm gonna go back to the story real quick. Like, this girl, the day that I found out that she was cheating on me, that next day, I went up to her, or no, I called her. And I didn't really have access to call her just because of certain reasons that I really don't feel like explaining. But I didn't really always have access to call her, so I ended up calling her and I was asking her on the phone, like, so what the fuck is that, da 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 da. And at first she lied, but then she told me the truth, and then that next day I'm like, get the fuck away from me. I think that's the day I smacked her because I was so fucking pissed. So then I went into the class. I was like, yeah, this is go fucking time. I walk up to the class, like, I literally walk in the class, put my shit down, walk to the end, and was like, I was standing at the end because it was like those long desks, because it was that pottery shit, I forgot what it was called, but it was like the pottery stuff, and it was a long desk, and I put my shit down at the end, walked down to the end, put my hands like this. I said, what's up? And she's just looking. You just told me, bitch, that you was not fucking with my ex, and now I found out that you fucking with my ex, so what's up? Yo, I was really finna beat the fuck out this bitch. Like, I was finna beat her ass. The pottery dude, the teacher, was so nice. Like, he was just like, Crissy, calm down, come on, pulling me and shit, trying to get me out the class. Like, yeah, I was not fucking going. He didn't even want me in the class for a couple days. I had to go to study hall for a couple days because he didn't even want me in there. Like, I was going the fuck off. And then once I got back in there, I was talking mad shit. And I mean shit. Like, we'd be sitting there and it'd be quiet as fuck, and I would start talking shit purposely so the bitch could hear me. Like, I used to say, like, she ain't gonna say shit to me, she ain't gonna walk past me. Every time she would walk past me or anything, I'd be mugging the fuck out of her. Oh my gosh, I used to damn near bully her after that point because I was pissed. You not finna be thinking that you finna fuck with my ex while I'm right here next to you. Oh my gosh. And she used to like leave out the class, go to the bathroom, and this happened a couple times with my ex. Like, she would leave the classroom and I would ask to leave the classroom too because I'm like, she's probably meeting up with my ex. I'm crazy, y'all. So I would leave the classroom too, and I caught her a couple times with the bitch. Man, I used to get cheated on, but it was karma, so I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining because it was karma. Back to me having an attitude in school, because there was this other time that this girl, me and my ex were walking down the hallway. Like, I would text her and be like, go to the bathroom right now, and we just walk around and talk about something or some shit. Like, we wouldn't go to the bathroom. We were walking and we turned the corner and it was down a hallway, which is like a super long hallway at the beginning of the school, and we turned the hallway and this girl's like, hey girlfriend. I literally, like, and I'm not joking, like, none of this is dramatized a word. I'm not being dramatic when I say any of this. Like, I literally turned around, I looked back and I looked at her. I'm like, who is she talking to? She actually talking to me. I said, I know she didn't just call you girlfriend. No, we just be playing. I was like, okay, yeah, well, we don't do that shit over here, bitch. Like, You could take that somewhere else. We don't play girlfriends over here. So yeah, I didn't even know these girls. So like, you know that best friend shit in high school, like you trying to fuck with somebody but you try not to make it known, so you'd be like, my best friend. Yeah, that was her best friend. Okay, I was so pissed. And then one time there was this last time that I'm gonna talk about, to my knowledge. So I already graduated, so sometimes I used to pick her up in the morning and take her to school because she was still in school. That was her senior year. I used to pick her up, take her to school, and then after school, like pick her up and then drop her off like at the end of her street. I come after school to come see her. I see her in the hallway and she's talking to some girl and the girl's flirting with her. I don't even remember what the fuck she was saying, and I didn't know her at the time. So I'm like, and who are you? She's like, I'm da 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, no, we don't do that. We're cool over here. We don't need all that happening right now. Because she was just acting way too fucking friendly and I don't fuck with that shit. So I think that's all. I know this was pretty long. It might not seem long when I edit it, but it was long for me. I just wanted to talk about my high school experience because I really miss high school. Like, I think about high school probably more than the average person. Like, I had a great high school experience. I feel like me not being in a relationship would have helped better, but I still had a lot of fun. I loved everybody there. I never really got into it with people. Like, I was cool with everybody. I always ditched. I always smoked. I always did everything I wanted to do. It was a really great experience. Like, high school was really fun. So, and I know we're in a pandemic right now, but if you're in high school, like you actively go to high school, just have fucking fun. If you're in high school all depressed and shit, because I really was never sad in high school like that. I can't speak for people that are depressed and stuff because a lot of that stems from home. A lot of it also stems from high school, but just have fucking fun because that shit was fun to me. Like, I would love to go back though and change some things about it. Just little stuff, like stupid things. But overall, I had so much fun in high school and I would not trade it for the world, literally. Like, if I could go back right now, I would. Like, I always say that I want to have like dreams, like of just basically where I could see myself in high school and like how everything used to go and stuff, because like I do remember big stuff like what I just said, but I don't really remember the little stuff, and I feel like that's important too. And I don't know, I just feel like everybody should really enjoy your high school experience because you only get it once. You don't go back. I'm fucking 24. Like, I literally graduated what, 6 years ago, and it's like, damn, that shit goes by quick. Like, I wish I can go back. It was so much fun. If you're in a relationship and you're having a hard time, just fucking break up. Seriously, you'll still see them. I mean, especially if you're like me and like to have fun. Don't be in a relationship while you're in high school. I had a good time talking about that. That was fun. I love thinking about like my high school experience and stuff that I went through in high school because it was really fun. My freshman year fucking sucked, but every other year was great. Like, but that's all. I'm gonna stop talking. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm sorry it took me forever to post. Give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you follow all my social media on the screen. If you go down below, I also have a gaming channel, which I have been trying to post on. So, and my merch, make sure you go shop my merch. The link will be in the description below, and I have a shop little section down below too. So I'll see you guys next video. Bye.